ranking every big 3 character's power from lowest to highest and giving them an overall score. This is the second part, so if you haven't watched the first part where I ranked the first 15 of 30 characters, go check that out. At number 15 we got Kaoki. Kaoki being here isn't too surprising considering that Boruto was at number 16, and they're pretty relative, but I would put Kaoki a little bit higher. Kaoki has Ishiki's abilities, which include his black rods, his cubes, and his shrinking ability. And since he's many times stronger than Kaguya, he should be scaling upwards of large star level. With that being said, I'm going to put Kaoki's power level at a solid 13 million. Coming in at number 14, we got No Limiter Code. No Limiter Code was stated by Amado to be stronger than Jigen, and Jigen is someone who basically no-diff Naruto and Sasuke at the same time. And keep in mind that those are both star level characters. He has these belts that basically allow him to teleport to people, and he can also immobilize opponents with the belts. So I'm gonna put Code's power level at a solid 15 million. Next up at number 13, we got our first Bleach character, Gerard Valkyrie. Gerard is here purely because of his hacks. He doesn't really scale anywhere that high. Gerard can reflect damage, which is crazy, and he can only do it if they attack his sword. And the damage isn't really equivalent. Like if you do like a scratch, you won't get a scratch in return. You're gonna get like a massive cut. And he also has insane regeneration. But overall, I'm going to put Gerard Valkyrie's power level at 21 million. Coming in at number 12, we got Yamamoto. Yamamoto is known for his insane heat, which is actually very powerful. Yamamoto's abilities, which include being able to strike enemies with immense heat, can be as hard as 15 million degrees. He's also capable of summoning corpses that can appear as characters the opponent may have slain in the past, which is pretty useful if you want to trick them in a fight. And he roughly scales to around star level more or less. So overall, I'm going to put Yamamoto's power level at 23 million. Next up at number 11, we got Kenpachi. Scaling Kenpachi is pretty rough because some say he scales to Galaxy and some say he scales to Planetary. But I personally believe that he's around the large Planetary to small star ranges of power. But the main reason he's this high on the list is because his Shikai basically allows him to cut through anything. And he even cuts space, which is where the potential Galaxy feat comes from. He can also harden his organs and he has instinctive reaction. And with that being said, I'm going to put Kenpachi's power level at a solid 25 million. Next up, we got another Bleach character, and the power levels are just going to get bigger and bigger. We got Jugrim. It's almost the same reason as why Kenpachi is so high on the list. Jugrim has insane hacks. Jugrim has probability manipulation. He also has certain durability negation attacks. And he can even use the Almighty at night. And his main ability, which is the balance, is just completely broken. Overall, I'm going to put Jugrim's power level at 35 million. Next up, we got a Boruto character. Coming in at number 9, we got Daemon. There's no surprise here. The only reason he's here is purely because of his hacks. Daemon can reflect intent, so if you intend to harm him, he can instantly reflect it back onto you. If you think of killing Daemon, you're instantly going to get reflected back that intent. And scaling wise, he should be superior to No Limiter Code. And this is where the power levels really take off. I'm going to put Daemon's overall power level at a solid 100 million. Next, we got Ishiki at number 8. This one's pretty obvious because Ishiki was capable of literally no-diffing Naruto and Sasuke and got even stronger than that while he wasn't even fully trying in his Jigen state. Ability-wise, Ishiki can shrink objects and resize them to his liking. He can also shrink himself and hide his chakra signature. And he can also seal people as well. We don't really know the true extent of Ishiki's power in his prime, but for now I'm going to put his power at 125 million. At number 7, which you guys may have predicted, we got the man who defeated Ishiki himself, Naruto. Naruto in his Byakugan mode form was literally violating Ishiki. That alone would put Naruto in the solar system ranges of power. And the fact that he can make hundreds of clones which are somewhat equivalent in power is crazy. So because Naruto is that much stronger than Ishiki, I'm going to put his power level at 195 million. At number 6, we got Ichibe. Ichibe is another character who's very powerful, don't get me wrong, but his hacks do carry him. After he releases his Shikai with Ichimonji, whatever he touches with his ink strips anything it touches of its name, which then causes the opponent to lose all of their powers. And he also has memory manipulation, time manipulation, and even existence erasure. Overall, Ichibe is very powerful, and I'm going to put his power level at 350 million. Now for the top 5, at number 5 we got Aizen. Aizen showed skill pretty relative to Yuha, like somewhat not fully, as he was going toe to toe with him and even tanked some of his attacks. He should be well within the Galaxy ranges of power. As for his hacks, he has some of the best in his whole verse. Aizen with his Kyokusetsu can put people under an insanely powerful illusion just by them looking at his sword. Aizen can also evolve, making him more powerful, and he's also immortal. And factoring in his insane IQ, I think 500 million is a good estimate for his power level. Next at number 4, which you guys may have guessed, is is Ichigo. Ichigo is capable of cutting Yuha, which is a crazy feat considering that Yuha could scale up to Universal. So Ichigo should be comfortably within the galaxy ranges of power. And he also has some pretty powerful abilities like his Gran Zero and Getsuga Tensho. He can also regenerate during a fight, which is pretty useful. There's not too much of a difference between him and Aizen, so I'm going to put Ichigo's overall power level at 550 million. Now for the very powerful characters, coming in at number 3 we got Yuha. Yuha eventually absorbed the Soul King's power, eventually gaining access to his powers and abilities. And naturally this would put him on a similar level to the Soul King. Ability wise, Yuha has some of the best in the verse, if not the best. And one of his many powers is being able to see the future, and not just in one timeline but all possible timelines. Not only that, he can also alter the future as well. This is shown when Ichigo killed him and he just came back. He can also absorb people's power and has insane regeneration as well. With that being said, I think Yuha deserves a power level of at least 1 billion. Coming in at number 2, we got his father, the Soul King. The Soul King is basically just a stronger version of Yuha, so wherever Yuha skills, so does the Soul King. The Soul King stabilizes all the worlds which are known to have stars and even galaxies inside them, so he should be around the universal ranges of power. So I think the Soul King's power level should be around 1.2 billion. And finally, coming in at number 1, we got Shiba. Shiba is known to be the strongest Boruto/Naruto character of all time. Shiba has some insane abilities, some of which include dimensional travel and intent reflection. I'll get to his most impressive ability in a second. Let's see where he scales first. Amado hypothesized that Shiba transcended to a higher dimension, a theory that was later confirmed by Momoshiki, which would mean he's 4D, which would also mean that he's Universal Plus. It was stated in this scan that Shiba has the power to materialize any thought and turn it into reality. And it also says that he created the Naruto world. So Shiba can quite literally kill any character on this list however he wants. So with that being said, I think Shiba's power level should be at least 3 billion. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and until next time, peace.